When you try and kind of summarize, I guess, this game, you go down a man really early. You end up only losing by 1 goal. It's 1-0 at the end. Can you kind of bring some positives away from that defensively and, not having it get more out of hand than it could have?
No, what I'd say is that life will always throw adversity your way, and what we talk about is how you respond to it. And I thought in the second half we put ourselves in position to win that game, or at least tie the game. It was probably one of the proudest performances I've been a part of in that second half. Again, it's not easy to get out of your half. I think the guys showed the type of character, the type of resolve, the type of commitment it takes to get back in the game. Again, not feeling sorry for yourself because you're down a man, and playing down a man for quite some time. Those are the hardest games to get the mindset right. And so again, I am super proud of the second half. And unfortunately, the ball just didn't bounce our way in the box. But I thought we had a couple decent looks and half chances and these kind of things. But the only thing I'm ever concerned about is the effort and the execution. And in the second half, it was there.
Coming into this, that you're down Luna and you're down Dom, and then you lose a Mecca as well. Quite a few changes to the starting lineup. How do you feel like the guys adjusted with
Yeah, again, there's every team's going to be down players. We don't even talk about it. It's the next guy steps up and does a job. And I think for the most part, it takes some time to get into the game, especially with a lot of changes. And the game was back and forth for the first, whatever it was, 23 minutes. And I think, again, the guys that stepped in there, I think, did a good job. And unfortunately, something that keeps biting us is our box defending, and it's something that we worked on quite a bit this last week. But again, the game is won and lost in those boxes, and even down a man, you have enough. You have enough players in that area to defend it. So that's probably the one thing that is disappointing if there's anything. But overall, again, I think the guys showed some real resolve today, and that's got to be the foundation. That's got to be the starting point, and then obviously we need to execute the right way as well.
Unfortunate loss tonight. Just talk us through what it means to have a great keeper like Rafael to come up huge with that amazing save.
Yeah, I mean, he made a couple, right? I think one in the first half and one in the second half. He's been amazing. I think, and what he's been amazing at, you guys don't even see. It's behind the door. It's in the locker room. It's behind the doors. His play has been exceptional for everyone to see. But I think what he really has brought to our group is confidence, belief, and making plays. I think he's been, for me, he's been immense. There's not enough words to express the way he's come into the group in such a short time and had such a powerful impact, both on and off the field. And again, today was another amazing performance on his behalf.
And then with a loss like tonight, what can you take away from this heading into Minnesota next week?
Again, like I said, I think the most important thing is, being down a goal, down a man is obviously the toughest situation that you're going to face in football. And, when you have 11 on the field and you concede a couple goals, you can find reasons, and some of those is probably the mindset and the mentality that affect those results. I think today was a tough situation for Ari. Got caught in a tough challenge. But what I take away is the baseline for our group is the group that attacked the game in the second half. And so now my message to them is that's down a man. Imagine if you have an extra guy that's committed to working like that and believing like that. We're going to be a good team. Hey, Mikey.
How's it going, brother?
Good. How are you?
Tough. That was a really immense effort that the guys put in, especially in the second half. But for the coaching staff, like you said, down a goal, down a man at halftime, knowing you're going to be down a man for 70 minutes total, how do you approach your substitutions?
Yeah, so, I think we went to a different shape, right? We went basically man for man on the back line, 2 pivots, 2 wing backs, down a man, and they had a lot of work to do. And then obviously try to put an extra number up front, so almost 2 forwards, to be able to get pressure on the ball. You know, I think the last, whatever it was, 20 minutes of the first half, it was hard to get out of our box. And so that was the first part, right? So clear understanding at halftime. But then it was really about the guys' commitment and effort to pick off balls in midfield, to play forward, to make the game very hectic in a way, you know, because again, when you're absorbing pressure, it's not hectic, but you're never going to get out. You're just going to be thrown into your net. So, you know, and then the subs, you know, with Wolfie, it was we needed more verticality on that right side and hopefully get some crosses in. Lockie was, you know, getting some fresh legs in there and a guy that has a shot from distance. Dropping Diogo back was a guy that can execute on set pieces. And then Alex was fresh legs. You know, Sam was getting a bit fatigued, and I thought Alex came in and did a really good job on that left flank and putting balls in. And so, again, it wasn't easy. And then obviously Kobe, we didn't have you know, another striker. So if we're going to play forward, he's great in the air. He'll battle. He'll do all the little things. So I thought he came in and did a great job as well. So again, the only thing failing us tonight was just a fortunate bounce in an area, because we got the ball in the right spots and it just wasn't. We just didn't find that opportunity.
And then something that I saw again at the beginning of the game before the RE red was Jay Glad pushing up a lot further than I remember seeing him in seasons previous. I think it was in the 12th minute he got all the way up on an overlap and put right across the 18.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that we're working on as a wrinkle?
No, you know, I think that we anticipated Phil doing that. Him and Phil switched positions in that particular play, and Jay being, you know, dialed into what we were trying to achieve, because they switched positions. It's what we were asking. If they were coming inside with Pablo, that we'd switch it to Phil and then look for our forwards down the line. But Jay happened to be on the right side and took it in stride again. I think it's, again, we want to be dynamic. We want to be attacking. We're always trying to find different ways to make the 3 a 2. And you know, on that particular play, Jay did a good job.
Thank you.
Yep.
Hey, Pablo, rough night. Did you get any explanation on the red? Seemed like you and the ref had a few interactions. Any insight?
No explanation other than what you guys saw. And then again, I think those plays, if you slow them down, they look terrible. You know, I think in real time, I think it was 2 guys going into a hard challenge, and but.
And didn't the whistle blow before that?
And not much before that. Not much before that. And that's the conversation. It was, you know, felt like Ojeda was being dragged about, you know, 6 seconds before that play unfolded. And that was my conversation. If it was a foul and it was blown early, then that other part would have never happened. So that was the explanation.
Okay. And then obviously tempers kind of heat up at that point. Everybody's kind of emotional, you might say. How do you kind of talk your team down to getting back to playing?
Well, again, I think in the second half we wanted emotion. We wanted it angry. We didn't want it calm, because calm favors a team with 11 men on the field. We wanted to make it hectic, and again, I think about Ojeda in there nicking balls and starting attacks. You know, Jay Glad breaking up plays. I mean, all the guys did a great job. You know, Vera battling down the sideline and making it difficult down a man. And you know, again, I'm proud of the performance, man. You know, very few times do you lose games and you're like, man, I'm proud, but tonight's one of them for sure.
And quite a few yellow cards too. Anybody pushing suspension?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. And again, for the way I see the game and the way I see life, man, is like, you got to go for it, man. And if it means you take someone's arm along the way, then so be it. But like, we're only here for a short time, man. Let's go for it. What are we doing? What I didn't want to do in this game in the second half, I didn't want to die on my knees. I didn't want to die with a 4-4-1 or 5-3-1. I didn't want to do that. I want to go for the throw. I want to go for the game. And if there's yellow cards and it's angry and it's hectic and it's emotional, great. That favors a team that's down a man. So it's such a unique situation, and if you don't approach down a man with a certain type of mindset, then you're going to get walked all over on, especially when there's 60 minutes left to play with a man down. It is the hardest thing, and I remember doing it when I was playing. It was the worst case scenario when you're just sitting on top of your goal and just constantly defending, and then they score, and it's like, well, we just lost on our knees. So again, I can't say it enough. Super proud of the way the guys attacked the second half, and I feel we just needed that final bounce to go our way. But again, I think it's a good baseline, a good standard to measure up against. Because if you can play that way with 9 field players, with 10, that is asphyxiating football. Like, it's hard to get around. It's hard to make passes, and we're going to create a lot of chances in transition as well. So it's a good performance, good second half to build upon.
Pablo, sin juzgar la expulsión de Piol, tenías a Tyler Wolf. ¿Cuál era la idea de poner a Piol por ese sector?
¿Cómo?
Wolf usualmente cubre la posición de Marchuk
Y pusimos al Pablo en esa posición.
o Pablo.
El Pablo. Y jugamos con 2 delanteros. El Pablo entraba adentro y el Philip pasaba por afuera. Jugamos como un sistema un poco diferente tácticamente, porque queríamos ver cómo jugamos con 2 delanteros. Como no llegamos a tiempo, o sea, porque la expulsión de Ari, nunca vimos la táctica realizada, ¿sí? Porque después no tuvimos 2 delanteros. Quisimos encarar las bandas y meter centro, pero en esos 20 minutos nunca desarrolló lo que quisimos tácticamente, y después cuando expulsaron a Ari, era un partido diferente.
No va a traducir.
So basically, I didn't really understand the question he asked, but the
Yes,
translation.
why Ari was playing on the instead of Tyler Wolf, and I said we changed it up where we were basically playing with 2 strikers to try to get balls in the box and really put them under pressure. But it never came through fruition when Ari got red carded. Before then, it happened once or twice, but it never caught steam. And so obviously when Ari got thrown out, the whole plan went up in the air.
All right, guys. Thanks, Pablo.
Gracias. Thank you.
Tough loss, but congrats on the penalty save. What was going through your mind before and after the penalty kick?
Yeah, I think we were good. We were playing very well. The game was tight, and I think we had everything to win the game. And we are frustrated because we could win, and of course, play with 10 men is not easy. But of course, we could do better. But at the same time, the team played a lot, ran a lot, and we don't have anything to complain because we gave everything.
Late in the game, you were playing very aggressive. The balls were going forward very quickly. What was that like, I guess, as a team? What was the communication like with your teammates in those last few moments when you were trying to get a goal?
Yeah, it was our plan for the second half because we couldn't play from the back because we had one less player. So we tried to play more direct and play for second balls, crosses, and be aggressive. And I think we did well, but unfortunately we didn't score, and we lost a game at home that we could win.
In a tough loss like this, what's the talk to the team to keep you guys' heads up moving forward onto Minnesota next week?
Yeah, of course we demand each other. You know, we are never happy when we lose games, and there are many positive things today, but we've got negative things today, and we have to work. And we push each other, and we are never happy. And this communication on the locker room is so important because we want to be constant, have constancy, and win more games.
And then obviously you're working with a lot of different pieces on your back line. How's the communication with those different pieces each and every single game?
Yeah, good. We've got a very good team, and our atmosphere and our friendship is very nice. So we've got everything to have a great season, but I think we've been playing well. But now we have to get more results.
As one of the more experienced players in the locker room, how do you help your younger teammates process such a frustrating loss?
Yeah, first of all, by example. No, I have to be always positive and work more than others, and stay. We goalkeepers, all of us, we stay there and before 30 minutes before working, and we have to give an example. And of course, be positive because the soccer is so difficult to win games. But we lose one game and we've got another opportunity next weekend. So we have always to look forward and head up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Rafa, some really good saves tonight. You seeing the ball well? Is it the stadium? Is it the lights? Is it you're just on top of your game right now? How you feeling right now?
I'm happy. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy working with Mirza. He's an amazing goalkeeper coach. And all of the others, goalkeeper, Mason, Max, Trace, and all of them, they are pushing me as well. And we've been working so well, and I'm so happy to be with them. And as a team, we've been working well as well. And of course, we need to get more results because we are playing for that. And hopefully, we'll start Saturday.
Yeah, and then had to play a little more sweeper keeper, a little more up the field today. You felt it looked comfortable to you? Do you feel good playing that way?
Yeah, I'm comfortable, and I always played like this. And I think the club saw in me these qualities to play in this way, and I'm here to help. I have to learn many things as well. I've been learning, and I'm so blessed to have all these players and the staff and work with them. I'm happy, and hopefully I will help the team as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's it. Thank you.
Una derrota complicada por la expulsión, pero el equipo se mostró muy bien en el segundo tiempo. ¿Cómo estuvieron los ánimos dentro de la cancha después de la expulsión? Hubo muchas tarjetas amarillas, muchos reclamos por parte de ambos equipos. ¿Qué nos puedes contar de cómo se vivió en el campo esta derrota?
No, primeramente buenas noches. Sí, la verdad que el equipo creo que se portó bien en el campo de juego. Creo que tuvimos la misma mentalidad, igual si nos expulsaron a uno. La verdad que yo, por ejemplo, me sentí bien. Creo que el equipo tenía las mismas ganas. Solamente que complicó, obviamente, que se nos expulsara a uno. La verdad que creo que si teníamos uno de más, o digo bien, un jugador que perdimos completos, digo bien, creo que le ganaríamos este partido. Porque con 10 le tiramos atrás a Dallas y creo que hicimos bien las cosas. No.
Obviously, with the red card going down a man, how was the team, the vibes on the pitch after that happened? He said that the vibes were good, he thought that the team behaved well. Obviously, it was complicated once you go down, all the tactics go out the door, and then if they have a full squad tonight, 11v11, that he thinks they could have beaten that other team.
Obviamente, cuando hay un hombre menos, muchas veces la instrucción es irse para atrás para evitar que les metan un gol. Y el partido va 0-0 todavía en ese momento. ¿Cuál fue la instrucción que el entrenador les dio para tratar de mantener el marcador, a pesar, inclusive después de cuando iban perdiendo 1-0, el equipo se mostró muy bien atacando?
Sí, Pablo nos dijo que jugaron más vertical y más centro, que tiramos a los delanteros y que tratábamos de hacer el gol, que ellos que se estaban tirando para atrás. Entonces eso es lo que nos pidió.
What was the instruction after? Obviously, a lot of times when you go down a man, you go defensive. What was Pablo's instruction to the squad once that happened? He said that Pablo told him to play vertical, to play forward, to play to the center forwards, just because Dallas dropped defensively once they went up a man.
¿En algún momento pensaste que el partido se le estaba yendo al árbitro y eso influía en ustedes?
Sí, la verdad que sí. La verdad que sí, el árbitro estuvo mal, la verdad estuvo muy mal hoy. Creo que cobró algunas cosas que no tenía que cobrar, entonces creo que hoy estuvo mal el árbitro.
That if he thought that the game got away from the ref at all, he said yes, he does think that the refereeing was very, very bad today, and there was a few things that he called and gave cards for that he shouldn't have.
Ahora, ¿cómo conversaron ustedes después? Este es borrón y cuenta nueva y ahora tenemos otro enfrentamiento frente a Minnesota que se debe mirar con otra cara.
Sí, claro. Ahora hay que pensar en el partido que viene, hay que olvidar esto y ya ir a ganar en Minnesota.
Obviously, forget this game happened, put it at the back of your mind, and just focus on Minnesota next week.
How do you approach duels when you know that the other team is going down often and that the referee does seem to be buying it?
¿Cómo te enfrentas con el otro equipo en el campo cuando sabes que se están tirando mucho y que el árbitro está llamando todo contra ustedes?
Yo creo que como mostramos, la mentalidad que mostramos, creo que estos partidos se juegan así. Cuando el árbitro está cobrando, creo que estaba cobrando mal, entonces obviamente hay que ser inteligente y saber jugar esta clase de partidos.
So just playing smart, obviously, knowing that the ref is calling everything, but also keeping the same mentality that the team had from before.
Gracias. And what's the mood in the locker room? Is it more pissed off, frustrated, or just resigned and exhausted?
¿Qué se sentían los lockers? ¿Se sentían enojados, frustrados?
No, la verdad que no, creo que dimos todo en el campo de juego con 10 hombres y creo que esa es la mentalidad que el equipo necesita para los siguientes partidos.
No, none of that. That they're in good vibes. They left everything on the pitch and that they're just focusing on the next match.
Gracias.
Anyone else?
Gracias. Eso era.
Igualmente.